why don't we start off with, well, what's your background? What's your expertise?
Multifaceted, I guess. I have been working in media for probably a long time now, 25 years, somewhere around there. And I've also been a business owner for 9 years. And this is now my third business, not because of failing, but because of just different reasons. The reason why we started our first business was basically my wife had had enough. She was a lawyer, and then one holiday she just like broke down and said, I hate law. I've studied for so many years. We need to start changing our lives. So through that, we created a Prosecco van business in the hospitality industry. We knew nothing about business, nothing about hospitality, nothing about anything, just jumped in. So from there, we then had kids, and that obviously brings a different lifestyle. And the Prosecco van and the hospitality was weddings and corporate events and being away for our weekends. So we'd have the newborn baby and we'd just have to pass it over to grandparents. And basically the whole of the summer, we just didn't have a life with our child, basically. So then it was plan B, which was property, which we still have. That is still one of our businesses. And that seemed a better fit for us. It allowed my wife to then actually quit her job, because the Prosecco van was not even really a lifestyle business. It was more a hobby business. So property was a long-term strategy, because that's when we started thinking long-term. Whoever's got kids out there knows that that can just trigger you straight away to think, right, I need to sort my shit out. I need to think long-term, get a bit of a strategy behind me. What is it I actually want from this life? Because we spent, I don't know, it would have been 30 years of our life just kind of coasting and floating and just going from one thing to the other, which is exciting and great. But there becomes a point where you feel like you're not running out of time, but you do need to start forward thinking. So that is probably when the forward thinking and the strategy came in. And that's when we got into property. But I just never loved property. My wife loves it. I've never loved it.
Your wife led the charge.
Yeah, well, yeah, probably. Yeah. She'd seen a Prosecco van on Instagram and was like, this is a great idea. Let's do this. So yeah, I kind of roll with it. Like, I know who's in charge. So
Right. Okay. Yeah. Wise
I
man.
roll with it.
Wise man.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, there was no reason for us to get into hospitality. We knew nothing about it. She liked Prosecco. We loved drinking Prosecco. So that was basically our only way into that business. So it just seemed like a good idea at the time.
Yeah. I like taking bubble baths. Maybe I should be a bubble bath manufacturer.
They say to follow your dreams and your love.
Yeah. To be fair, I probably would really enjoy that, especially getting like one of those ones with the 4 feet on it. So what were you doing before your wife was like, I've had enough? What were you doing?
Before that, 20 odd years in media. So working in TV.
Okay. I see.
Which is a pretty cool job. So I'm a sound recordist, and I still do some of this around my coaching work, because I've always worked on a freelance basis for 20 years. And it's a cool job. It's taken me all around the world. I've met phenomenal, incredible people, A-list celebrities, and been 5-star luxury, all paid for. Worked on shows like Love Island, The Apprentice, X Factor, worked on films, documentaries, like really cool shit. But having kids meant that I basically did not have control of my life. I have to take the work. I have to go away. Sometimes when I was filming Love Island, I'd be away for 9 to 10 weeks. I'd be away for long periods of my time. So I realized that I also wanted, number one, to get my wife out of her job because she hated it. And number two, build, again, this is about the forward thinking and the plan, build something which allows me to be here for my family and just kind of take control of my life again. And obviously when COVID hit, that was a big shit, what's happening here, because there was no TV work for me. It just, the tap just switched off. So then it was like, right, how do I reinvent myself now? How do I move forward? How do I build this life that I want? So the TV stuff is still happening. I still do some of that because obviously I've done it for so long and it is a pretty cool job. But the idea is that now I've got 3 children. I want to build something bigger. I want to build something that's me, and I want to build this future that I've planned, my 10-year vision.
Yeah. Okay. So talk me through that. What is this?
So the 10-year vision. So yeah, I met so many people through my coaching, and just people. My wife is terrible at this. She thinks it's something to do with ADHD, and that it's that they can't think forward, like not even a year. It just scares some people to think, like to forward plan. I just kind of feel like, how do you know where you're heading if you don't know where you want to get to?
Mm.
It's like the how can you fix something if you don't know it's broken scenario. I
Okay.
think, and there's a great saying from Bill Gates that people underestimate, was that the word is they overestimate what they can do in a year and underestimate what they can do in 10 years. So that time frame, especially as you get older, you realize that 10 years isn't that long a time. I understand when you're in your 20s or teens, you're like, that's like, I can't think that far ahead. But as you get older, and especially when you have kids, it just goes like a second. But what you can do in that big time frame, in that 10-year space, is you can put a flag over here and say, this is what I'm working towards. Now, you don't need to have it all mapped out of how I'm going to get there, because things change. Like, the world is constantly evolving. Our plans always changing. Like, I've had 3 businesses in 9 years. But just to put a flag in the ground and say, this is what I want to achieve. I want to have X. I want to have this kind of lifestyle. I want to have this kind of business. I want to have this kind of money, this kind of future, this kind of retirement plan. And so many people just have their heads in the sand. And I just think it's why, when all it takes is a bit of time and a bit of thought process, and then you're on a mission, then you've got something solid to work towards. That's my idea of the 10-year plan.
Okay. So the 10-year plan is not, so you've got your own 10-year plan.
Yep.
And is the 10-year plan something that's a part of your, like, what you coach people on?
The first thing that I do with my coaching is I help people get a vision. So the first thing that we go through is we look at exactly where they are. So I know a lot of you have probably seen like a wheel of life kind of scenario, where you're looking at all the segments of your life and maybe your business, and just seeing, mapping out where you are now, because it goes back to that. If you don't know it's broken, then how can you fix it? So the key thing for me is just getting clear, getting complete clarity on where you are now. And then there's a great technique that I love to use that I've got in my journal.
I love this. Oh, wow. It's made. Love that. Oh, a little, I like this little preview. Okay.
Nice. And there's a free goal setting guide. So the whole front of this is a goal setting guide. It's basically what I go through, which is the finding clarity, figuring out your vision, then setting your goals. And there's a free guide that I want to give to everybody if they're interested. I don't know how I get the link. I put it into the chat or something like that. We'll figure that out.
We'll choose an opportune moment. We've got Stu Clark has commented saying, where attention goes, energy flows. I love that.
Exactly that. And so many people will just jump in and flit in and go from here, there, the other. It's just a bit of structure and we've also got thinking.
Sorry, we've also got Claudia. Love Claudia. She says, totally agree with you, Ben. We need to start to be more mindful about how we use our time. And Ian Wilson says, oh, posh journal. Okay, so this is good. Okay. I like this. You get some good feedback from this. Firstly, let's just give you like some snap. I don't know why I did this. I saw someone do this on stage and I loved it. I do you know what I've not thought twice about since I saw someone on stage doing that, and I just did it. I was like, yeah, that was a nice thing. So I'll give you some snaps.
They do poetry things, don't they?
What's that?
That's why they do it, poetry things, because they don't want to clap because it's too, so they give it all of that.
I quite like that. So I'll give you some snaps because you've got some like merch. You've beaten us.
Listen, the merch is here.
Nice. I like it.
Is that arrived.
Embroidered or is it like vinyl?
That's what this?
Yeah.
That's embroidered.
Stop it.
It's high quality merch. We don't mess about here.
We're gonna have to have some conversations. Do you know what? I love how you're like, yes.
I've got the hats. I didn't want to go too much. It was a bit too much. So I got the hats. I got it all. I'm committed.
Where's yeah, you are. I love this. This is so in line, mate. Where's the hat? That's not commitment, is it? You haven't shown up with the hat.
No. There's too much in there. There's too. You can go too far.
It's too much commitment. Well, do you know what's really interesting is I'm having a nightmare with sound at the moment with my adverts. There's too much background noise everywhere I am. There's too much background noise. It's like, I'll have to pick Ben's brains about this, and we want to get merch out. So I've got so many things to pick your brain about. Kieran says, no messing, Ben's committed. I love that. Okay, so I rudely interrupted you. Right, so 10-year vision. That's what you first start off with. You start off with people, you get them to think about their 10-year vision.
That was it, yeah. So a great technique called the hot pen technique.
Oh, yes.
That's what I start people on. So the first thing is getting clarity. Then it's the hot pen technique. And the reason it's called the hot pen technique is because by the end of it, your fingers should feel like they're on fire. What it is
Okay.
25 minutes that you spend, 25 minutes where the pen does not leave the paper and you are literally writing. And for me, it's about 10-year vision. So in 10 years' time, I want to have
Okay.
everything about your life, everything about your finances, everything about your business, everything about the things you want to see, the people you want to meet, absolutely everything. And you do not stop for 25 minutes. And the reason for that is because even if you've run out of ideas, your subconscious will start kicking in and you'll start writing some crazy stuff that you didn't even know was in there. Things that you want to, places you want to see, people you want to meet, all of that kind of stuff.
Have you got any examples of some crazy stuff that you wrote down? You're like, holy shit, like that's actually seriously important to me, but I have not put that in words. Have you got any examples of that?
You know what? I haven't actually off the top of my head.
Oh,
I'll have to go back through my notes, but something always comes up that I don't at the end where, because it's
okay.
always the first things that you want, like the very material things. I guess it starts coming a bit more about your life, really, is what starts coming out. The reason why, because that I know Cordelia loves it. Oh, what's the author? Famous author, where he's all about why.
Start with why. Simon Sinek.
Simon Sinek, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
How important that why is,
Yep.
especially for moving forward and for pushing on. Like I
So,
like to, when I have my coaching sessions, I like to sometimes dig really deep, and I'll ask that question about 10 times just to really figure out what it is that's driving them, why. And you start layering down, and sometimes they don't even realize what it was. It could be something that happened in their future, in their past. It could be, yeah, someone deep down that they didn't realize that they're doing this for, not themselves, or something that's not materialistic. It's a great book and a great thing. Just knowing your why, so important.
by the way, I'm not distracted. I'm just checking the Facebook in case anyone mentions anything on there. I was going to say, does anyone know what the Simon Sinek quote is? I'll be intrigued. I know it.
I think it's starting with why, isn't it? I think the book.
No. There's people don't buy what you do; they buy why you do it.
Brilliant.
We should put that on the post. People don't buy what you do; they buy why you do it. Exactly. So yeah, so this, and I find this really, really interesting. Because actually, I had a conversation with someone today that's quite poignant to this and significant. Because I'm writing the ads for the Rebellious Business Network, which is happening on the 22nd of February. Guys, write that down. The next live networking event is the 22nd of February. It's free. It's a riot. There's no reason why you shouldn't join. Anyway, so I'm writing these adverts for this networking event because we want to go big. And I was talking to, and I met someone in a coffee shop today who is our ideal client, or so I thought. He's exactly in the place that we kind of like, we sort of serve people, and where we're serving people is usually like they have a service, obviously, and it's coach, consultant, freelancer. Actually, he gave me the word freelancer because I've been struggling to like define them as like what type of person they are. I'm calling them service providers, but that to me sounds like BT, and I'm like, it's not quite right. He said, I feel like I'm a freelancer aspiring to have a bigger business, but I'm one-man band, and I've got clients and getting in from referrals, I'm testing out ads, but he's not got that business system yet. And this is what we teach in the Rebellious Business Network. It's like I'm like, yeah, like I know what you need to do. It's not often I'm like, yes, perfect, I know what you need to do. And I sort of gave him some totally unsolicited advice, and yeah, he did not want to take it at all. Anyway, so it turns out after I was talking to him, he is complete introvert, and he has openly admitted that he's an introvert. I was like, oh yeah, that's an issue. not for introverts in general, like not at all. But he did not want to get out on camera. He did not want, like, he was not really interested in mingling with people. And it really made me realize, like, oh, okay, actually, we need to speak to people that want to speak to people. It's not just about getting clients. We're people here. So that's more of our why. We're all about connection. We want to bring people together, particularly business owners, together so that you can have connection, because we think business is a team sport. So yeah, we teach people how to get clients, and we teach you marketing strategies and promotional strategies and business building strategies. But our why starts with connection. It's bringing people together. And if we go back to mine and Cordelia's story, we met at an event and we just hit it off. And we hit it off in this organic, honest way. But we were working together on that trip. Like, we went to the Grand Canyon and started shooting ads together, right? Like, immediately we were collaborating. Then we were working together. Then we were working for each other, with each other, for each other's clients. So anyway, I've totally hijacked this. It's not my show, but I was just sort of saying I got really enthusiastic about this idea of why. And the reason we're doing this is because we want to connect people. So that's my why, not that anyone asked. So yeah, just wanted to sort of share that. Yeah, so people don't buy what you do. They buy why you do it. Love that. Now I'll give it back to you. So back to the hot pen method.
So yeah, that should then evolve into the big vision. And then what that does, it just gives you a big framework to kind of work for. And then what I do in my goal setting plan and my journal is I get people to write out their big 5 targets, really, which would be to be achieved within 1 to 10 years. It would be the big things that would make that vision a reality. So that could be, I don't know, I mean, some of mine is to build a property portfolio that makes me 10,000 net profit a month. Another is to build a significant coaching business to bring in X amount of money and give me the lifestyle that I want and to speak on stages and to amazing people. Other ones are like my house and, you know what I mean? All of these kind of things, like some real significant targets that are kind of forward thinking, that we, again, is putting the flag in the ground and saying, this is what I'm working towards. And then what we're doing there is kind of breaking back and breaking back and breaking back. Because then with some of these, like a property portfolio, then I might set in a 5-year goal, which would be, how do I know what my halfway point is? So it's to have a property portfolio that gives me this amount, or to have a coaching business that is this big now. And it's working back and working back, but not getting too hung up on the detail until you get to the 1-year goals. And that's when the detail starts coming in. Because at that point, that's when you really need to start taking action to get that vision. Because it's great having a vision. We can all do a hot pen technique and say, I want my life to be like this. But until you commit to action, you're not going to get anything. So that is when I start really bringing it down and start really nailing in. And that's what my coaching thing is all about. The people that work to me on a one-to-one basis, we really start nailing down on to 3 months. We work in quarters. And then we start working in months and working in weeks, and then it's day by day actions to just get that compounding effect and build that massive snowball that will take you to that 10-year vision.
So, where did you learn all this?
I spent a lot of money on coaching programs and mentors and coaches and personal development. I've read a lot of books, business knowledge, obviously, from working in 4 different businesses. Yeah, it's just bringing it all together, really. It's just bringing together what you know and kind of doing what works for you. I mean, they always say don't make a business with you in mind, but I kind of think often some of the best businesses are when someone sees an issue that they're having themselves and goes, right, well, how can I make that better?
So that's intriguing. So I guess, so when did you incorporate this into your life? Like you go like, I see a problem, like there seems to be how did you incorporate this into your life? Like what was that catalyst? So did you decide to become a coach and then learn this stuff, or did you learn this stuff and go, actually, I need to give this to the world? Or like what was the order there?
I guess I got motivated and inspired by being on coaching programs.
Right. Okay.
You get around a lot of people that have got a big mission. It can inspire the hell out of you, which it does. And you love that. That's a good buzz. There's a great feeling to help people. Is a great feeling. See people improve. See people just have a moment of clarity. It's a good feeling. So it's a greedy thing. Like, I'm not just doing this for others. I'm doing this for myself. I want to, like, that lights me up to see someone go, oh shit, yeah, I didn't think about that. Or this is a different system. I see, now we can get to work. For me, for the coaching a lot of the coaching programs I went on, there wasn't much one-to-one. And the key thing is accountability as well. I love accountability. It just, for me, just having someone to keep pushing you, to be there when the chips are down, to rise you back up again, or to just say, look, you're not doing what you need to be doing. Just get on with it. Stop fucking about. Like, there's not enough of that, I don't think. So I'm trying to incorporate all of those elements to try and not spend too much time in the planning, but enough time in the planning so that we really do know where we're going, so we can build a structure. And it's very clear for my clients that they know what they need to go and do. And then it's clear for me that I know what they need to do because we've worked it out together. And then on a week by week basis, I'm like, have you done it? And it's yes or no. And there's no hiding. So
Okay.
why have you not done it? And it's not to say that there isn't reasons why someone shouldn't do it. Of course, we've all got life and children and all sorts of things happen. But having someone to bounce back off and just say, are you just being lazy or are you scared? Because often that's the thing. I find that tends to be more of a thing than being lazy, especially with entrepreneurs. I don't know that many lazy entrepreneurs. You can't really get to that point of having a business and being lazy. I think often it's the fear that stops people rather than the laziness. So having someone that could kind of help you face up to those fears, push you into those fears, to make you realize those fears, and then that can be enough to just get you going.
So let's talk about the fears at the moment, because obviously that's, I think that you said like it's not there's not laziness. So like do you feel that the reason, sorry, I don't know if you can hear a lizard squeaking. That's a weird noise. Okay. There's lizards in Bali that make this sound. They go meow. Just in case anyone can hear that and he's going mad. I think it just blocks it out. I'm really sorry to just go and segue into lizard language. Yeah, sorry, just checking the Facebook. So okay, I think this taps into a really a very universal problem, right? And like I think a lot of people would not have even spent the time to write down their vision and gone into that. And I didn't, do you know what? I went through the personal development stuff all myself. I've done all that, right? Like I've written down visions and stuff like that till, my hands like all flappy, right? Like I've done it. And then nothing happened. Okay. So I imagine there's a lot of people that haven't even written down their vision. The next one, they haven't written out a plan. But let's say you're one of those people you've done your vision, you've done your plan. Why aren't they sticking to it? Like what's the reason they're not seeing the plan through? Whether it's business goals, whether it's relationship goals, that's like why aren't they sticking to it?
Well, yeah, I mean, the journal for me is a tool. So that's a tool. So I have every single day, I have me and my clients, we write out our 91-day goals. We write out every day. Some of my clients hate it. They say, why do I need to do that? Why do I need to do that? I know what my goals are. No, just once a day. I know coaching programs that do two times a day.
Okay, I might be doing that again soon. Yeah. Okay, well, so I think I see Stu Clark's put his fingers up saying two. I think, Stu's doing it twice a day. That is amazing. Anyone else on Facebook? Well, I've got a compliment for my great questions, which is always nice. Okay, so once a day. Wait, hang on. So
you see that every day. 91-day goals, 30-day goals, 3 main actions for the week, 3 actions for today, 4 habits for the day, big goal I'm working towards, and why. Every day.
91 day. Hang on, is it 90? Break that down for me again.
Yeah, well, do the maths, because it is 91 days. And my wife was like, why are you putting 91 days? Everyone puts 90 days, but it is 91 days.
So, yeah, but like, so how many goals are you writing down a day? 91.
So so if you work with me, you set your quarterly goals. So when we work on a 3-month basis. So getting like, we've done all the vision stuff, we've done the 21-year goals, but then when someone works with me, we get down to a month, because I only work in 3-month periods or 6-month cycles with people, or a year, but we always work in 3-month cycles. So we get very clear on the 3 things that you want to achieve in that quarter. Then we start breaking them down, and then it's okay, we're in month 1 now. What are the 3 things that are working towards those 91-day goals that you want to achieve this month? Okay, we're clear on that. Now let's work it back. What are the 3 main actions this week that will have the biggest effect on you achieving your 30-day goals, which then affect your 91-day goals? So it's that compounding effect constantly. And then it's today, what are your 3 main actions that will work towards your weekly goals, that work towards your 30-day goals, your 91-day goals?
Okay.
It's just getting into the detail.
And you do that every day?
Every day. Every day. And the reason for writing the 91-day goals and the 30-day goals is just to remind yourself, because it's so easy to just start going over here and over there and what's this and what's that and chasing.
Yeah.
just to bring that clarity every day. What am I working towards? Why am I doing it? What are the goals that I've set? It's not to go over here and record a podcast, because that's not what I've put on my list. It's not to go
Yeah.
over there and do this thing, because that's not what I've put on my list.
Okay.
If we've got time, then we go and do that. It's fine. But this is the focus. This is the focus. This is the focus. So it is focus, focus, focus. And then the other thing that we talked about was fear. Now that's a trickier one.
Oh, okay. Well, the question was, why are people not seeing their goals or their plan, right? They've made the vision, they've broken it down, they've made their plan. And I said to them, why are they not achieving it? And you said, well, I write it down every day. And so let's stick with that for 1 second. Do you think that writing it down in that way every day contributes to the achievement of that goal?
I think it helps because it gives you clarity, it gives you focus, it gives you vision.
I think there's a lot of stuff out there that says this is pretty much what you need to do. You just need to write your goals in the present tense every single day and pop, you're sorted.
We all know that it's not as simple as that. And
this
thing up here is
good news.
This thing up here is a lot more complicated than just writing stuff down. This helps you keep you focused and mindful.
Right. Okay. So it's for the mindful. So it's like a little reminder. This is what you do.
It's just to keep it at forefront. What is it that I'm aiming towards? What is it?
Okay.
Why am I doing this? Why I'm waking up? What is it I need to do? What am I working towards? And then that triggers you. Why am I doing it? Because I want to achieve this. Okay, cool. So what do I need to do? Okay, I need to do that. And it's just giving you that. But obviously there's levels then to actually getting the stuff done, especially if there's something that you're fearful of.
Okay. So just question. So do you do this every day?
I do this every day, yes.
Every day. First thing in the morning, when do you do it?
I do it first thing in the morning, and then as a daily debrief for the evening, which I don't always do, but it is very helpful just to, if something's happened today, if you've got so much going on and you just want a bit of clarity for tomorrow, just kind of sets you up. I'd probably do that 4 or 5 times a week, maybe not a weekend. But yeah, it just gives you that moment of if something great's happened today, if something shit's happened today, if you just need a bit of putting some stuff down on paper.
So just on this quickly, because I've always it sounds so pathetic. I've always wanted to write my goals down for 90 days straight. I've never done it. Why don't people stick it through? What do you see as the biggest reason for that?
I mean, I've got someone that doesn't want to do it because he says it's boring and he knows what he's got to do. Well, I've got one client who says he doesn't want to do it. He knows what he wants to do. He knows what he needs to do. And I'm getting bored of writing it down every day. I haven't got time, he says. I haven't got time.
Oh, okay.
He's got 5 minutes to write down his goals every day.
I love your expression right now. It's so like
it's the same expression I give you.
So like he hasn't got time.
Yeah. Well, that's exactly what I say to him.
Very busy man. Okay.
Well, yeah. And there was the great who put that thing there where attention goes, energy flows. It was Stu Clark.
Mm-hmm.
And that's exactly it. And that's why we write this down, because where your energy goes, you're writing down your clear targets. You're putting your energy and your thought process into that.
Okay. So that's
so why don't people do it? You said, sorry, why don't people do it?
Yeah.
Why don't people? I love this Jim Rohn saying, there's a saying, an apple a day will keep the doctor away. So then why don't you eat an apple a day?
Yeah.
It's fucking easy to do, isn't it? It's really easy to do.
Yeah. You know, people with their dogs, people are, I read this recently, read it, heard it, I don't know. It may not be reputable, so don't listen to me, but it is still interesting and on point. Apparently, people are really unreliable with taking a course of medication, like a two-week medication. They're very consistent at giving it to their dogs, though. If your dog's sick, you will see that course of antibiotics through to the end. You will give them their whatever it is, their insulin every single day. You'll give them whatever it is, but people don't do it for themselves. It's crazy.
Yeah.
I'm not as bad as well. I'm not on a pedestal here. I'm not Miss Consistency. I'm Miss like creativity, fly by the seat of my pants kind of gal. I work hard though, I will say that. So don't worry. I'm doing my bit. But okay, so people are inconsistent. Okay. Right. So we got that down. Have you got any on that one?
I mean, yeah, it's hard to know, like, to give that answer. Why do people not do it? I don't know why people don't do it. I just kind of encourage people to try something new, because if you want something to change, then something has to change.
Yeah, okay.
And this
Nice.
is, yeah. So, I mean, you try it for a month. If it doesn't help you, it doesn't help you. But yeah, why people can't stick to something for a long period of time? Because, yeah, like you say, a 2 week medicine, like that, yeah, just people being inconsistent for so, yeah, I don't know. People haven't got time, apparently.
Okay, so then right, so that's a big thing. So some people don't stick to that, and what next? So you write your goals, your targets down every single day.
Yeah. So, I mean, this is all good and great. And this is where I can give people a goal setting plan for free and help them create their vision, help them create their goals. And then they're on their own to do it. People can get a journal from me, and then they can get clarity, and they write their stuff down every day, but they've still got to do it.
Hmm.
Now, this is like a tricky one. And this is something that I'd struggled with in the past, which is why I went to coaching programs, and which is why the one thing that worked for me was when I'd done a weight training program, and I had constant accountability every day. We had to put in our weights. And the second that you didn't drop a bit of weight, someone would be on the phone to you. Like, literally, it'd be 15 minutes, and they'd be on the phone to you. What's happened? What did you eat yesterday? Did you train? Did you do this? What's going on?
Oh, God.
I mean, it's intense. I know it's intense, and I didn't want to go that intense with my program, but I just think having that accountability and having somebody that is checking in with you every week just kind of can be enough to get you going, to just get you pushing, just get you making, because it all becomes, it's that snowball effect, like we said before. It's like compounding. It's that wheel in motion. Once that wheel starts moving, and once you start seeing success from your results,
Hmm.
you tend to keep going.
Yeah, okay. So accountability, how crucial is it?
For me, again, this is that I've created a program out of a necessity that I had, and a need that I think is out there. I think is massively important. I think people underestimate coaching, and they underestimate having accountability. I think people are always searching for knowledge,
Hmm.
and there is so much fucking knowledge out there. There's so much knowledge out there. And most of the time, people have the knowledge in them already, but they're just not actioning it. So I think this is the bit that is missing for, I don't want to chuck a percentage out there because I'll just be making it up, but for a lot of people, I think this is the key bit that is missing. It's not that I need to go and search for this next bit of knowledge. I need to go and find this perfect marketing strategy. All of these things are great and they work. And there are strategies that work for this, and there's a bit more knowledge you might need for this. But people are always searching and searching and using that as an excuse to not just take action.
I
And
do
it's the
think there's a lot.
action that will get you the results.
So I feel very much like partnering with Cordelia has lit up my I wouldn't say enthusiasm. I've always been like enthusiastic. I'm accountable. You know, I haven't got an accountability coach. But I think in general, accountability, I'm so much more accountable. Even, do you know what makes me accountable as well? Just having clients, having this call booked in every week, that makes me accountable. So it's something about having this like appointment, like this, like some kind of, but like if I booked it in though, like I wouldn't turn up. I am so, I don't listen to me. I just don't do it. But I do show up every week for the Rebellious Business show. I do, like, we got, you know, especially even if you've got a deadline, right? Like, I will put in some serious shifts if we've got the last, when we did the last push for the networking event. It's so much work. It's so much work. I work so long and I'm writing so much stuff, and it gets to a point where I say I get word blindness. Like, I've got Dan like helping us run ads, and I'm writing all the emails, and he literally comes up to me. He's in Bali with me. He's like, "This doesn't make sense." I'm like, "Oh man, I'm hit word blindness phase." I stop making sense because I write so much, and it's because we've got this deadline, and it's like obviously I've got to go. You know, at that stage, it's like, right, okay, I need to actually take a break. I need to take some time out, but my head is in the game. Like I'm like, right, I'll have a break. I'm cool. I'm having a break to get back into it. I'm not having a break to just go off and do something else. I'm having a break to reset myself so I can get back and write some emails that make some bloody sense. So I'm like, yeah, okay, I get this. So what, like, why can't I give myself like accountability without like a deadline or an appointment? Is there anything in that?
What, self-accountability?
What's your thoughts on
Yeah,
self-accountability?
I mean, I haven't, yeah, it's a struggle. It's one of the main reasons, again, why I said, like, me setting this coaching business up was, there's a lot of greed in it. There's a lot of
Mm,
greed.
okay.
Like, like I said, it lights me up when I see people achieving great things, but it also becomes a driver for me to step up. Because if I'm
Mm,
telling people to sort their shit out, then I've really got to sort my stuff out. I've really got to be on top of it. So I have to keep pushing. And like you said, that whole thing of turning up for people, I have to
mm.
turn up for my clients and turn up for events and turn up for things I've got booked. But I also have to start thinking I can't be telling them to step up a level if I'm not willing to step up a level.
Mm,
So yeah, I think it's finding ways of finding accountability. And it may not be that you have to pay for a coach, but ways that you can put yourself into somebody else's pocket, if that's even like you said, you've got Cordelia, you've got
mm.
your clients. There are all these things that you can put in the way to say, I need to get to that point because this person's relying on me.
It, yeah, I think that's it. Like when I'm thinking about it, it's like, and it's actually given me some really nice feelings about myself because I'm like, oh yeah, I must be really quite other person motivated because I will work a lot harder to make sure that my responsibilities are met for someone else than my own. Like I will meet my responsibilities to other people more than my own. And I'm intrigued. Like I wonder, does anyone else feel that way in the chat? I've also got like, just to clarify, like Stu has said, usual BS excuses for I think not seeing things through. John says he totally agrees. He's not getting success from his actions and it's been his downfall. And Helly says, turn up for your why and make it big enough. Oh, that's a nice one. I like that. Have we got any more chat on Facebook? Self accountability is all about your why. I love that. I like the fly by the seat of my pants. Yeah, that is a Pretty Woman quote, Danielle. Thank you. Yeah, so I'm intrigued as to who else feels like who struggles to turn up for themselves but not for other people. I'm intrigued about that. Like, do you like make even a doctor's appointment? If it's a doctor's appointment, I'll turn up. But if I have like, I won't take medicine every day. I know I'll just slag people if I do it, but I'm that person. So, but what is like, does anyone else, oh, I got 100% from Stu Clark, shows up for other people more than themselves. Not, and I don't mean just like, over giving or oversharing. I mean, literally like you've got a responsibility to someone's time or to someone's effort, or you're tied to someone, like in a marriage or whatever, like you will stick by your responsibilities because you've got this, like, it almost feels like a real commitment. Like I can tell when I make a fake commitment to myself, but just it's just a different like feeling. It's like there's just this little element in it that makes it feel a bit more like physical, if that makes sense. Does that make sense? Like even right, and it's no more physical because I could put something in my calendar and it's a literal, it's a physical thing. I've written it down. Doesn't mean I'll do it. But if there's a person involved, I'll do it. Mostly.
There was
Mostly.
So we think that my oldest daughter's got ADHD. So we're doing a course at the moment, me and my wife in the evenings. We're sitting down and we're watching a course. And there was a segment last night which was really interesting. And it's called a wall of, I can't remember, pain or something like that you need to try and get over or figure out how to do it. And most people would just stare at it. And then it was kind of leading into this was how do we self-motivate? And some of the things they were saying there were things like triggers, like music can
Mm,
just flip you out. Exercise can just flip you out. I need to delve more into it, but there are these certain triggers that can just kind of put you gamifying things. So gamifying them for yourself, rewards, all of these little things that seem insignificant, but they actually can self-trigger because it is hard to do stuff. Like I went to the gym today at 5 in the morning
mm,
And I don't want to go to the gym at 5 in the morning, but I have to do it because I have to be back to take my kids to school and that. But it's only because I'm following a training plan on my app.
Yeah, okay.
If I didn't have any structure to it, I wouldn't bother. I'd just go,
Mm.
oh, fuck it. But this is like day number thing of a week, and I have to get it in because I don't want to lose the game, even though it's not a game. To me,
Yeah, 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 yeah,
it's
yeah, yeah, yeah. I
occasional.
see what you're saying. It's interesting. I've got a personal trainer out here, and it's really interesting. I my first couple sessions, I was like, great. On my third session, I came in and I said, I don't know why, but I'm in a really bad mood. Like, I'm gonna do it, but I'm in a really bad mood. And I was like, and there was a point in the thing where I said, I don't want to do it, and he went to me, doesn't matter. And I was like, oh yeah, you're right. And that was like a real like switch. Like, and I was like, I'm gonna keep that. I was like, I don't want to do it. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter if you don't want to do it. Do
Yeah,
it. And there was a point I was doing the last exercises, doing my crunches, and I had 5 more. And I was like, no, I'm done. He's like, 5 more. I was like, okay, I'll do it. If it had been me on my own, I wouldn't have done it.
there's
So
that
yeah.
accountability.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I was like, do you know what? I think it was even that it was that I was being watched. Like, like I can be my worst self when I'm on my own and have no judgment. And it was like, no, I don't, yeah, I don't know, but the accountability really helped. So there's definitely something in it. I'm intrigued to learn more about this. Well, we got the chat, we've got Helly says, I think a lot of women are trained to turn up for others, not themselves. I'm intrigued as to whether that's a gender sort of skew. I do know, women are supposedly more on the compassionate side, but I don't know. I don't think. I think it's duty. I think it's like a sense of duty that I have that makes me more accountable to other people. So I'm not sure if it's my sort of like feminine side, but perhaps. Helly also says, playing with this problem right now. So I'm using my calendar with new rules. I have to make appointments for all my tasks. I'm allowed to move appointments I make with myself, but not to ignore. I have to either do them within 2 days, write them in my calendar event, and capitals why I didn't. Okay, that's good. That's really good. Like holding yourself accountable to like not doing it. I like it. And we've got in the chat on Facebook, I usually put a dreamy picture of my next vacation, and that gives me motivation to do the work. Love that, Claudia. And Mark Lyons has also said, schedule and routine ensures things are not forgotten. So, yeah, this is some really nice engagement. I really like this. It's a really good subject. I'm very fascinated by the accountability, and I flipping well love your merch as well. I've
Never seen
got,
half of it yet.
yeah, and I bet that was not an easy thing to get sorted.
That was all right, actually. It wasn't too
Oh,
bad.
okay.
Got a really good company local to me. They're brilliant.
Oh,
I'll
amazing.
send
Oh,
you
okay.
the link
That's
them. I
what
recommend them
I'll check
highly. Top drawer. Good
that.
embroidery.
Okay. So tell me about these. So we're going to give a free PDF to people. Is that
Yeah,
right?
so yeah, it's basically the first part of my journal, which is the getting clarity about where you are at the moment. So I've got a big section on energy. I think energy is vitally important.
Yeah, we haven't
So I
really
give
touched.
you,
Let's touch on. We got 10 minutes left, and I've got to do a close down. So like
yeah,
maybe about 7 minutes. Let's talk about energy. I think
yeah.
everyone's
So
dying to hear about
I've got,
energy.
I start. That is where my journal starts. Basically, I've got 5 sections. And you score yourself out of 5 on your alcohol consumption, your diet, your sleep, your movement, and your nature, as in being out with nature.
Mm.
Because I think if something's not working, then that is the first place that I like to look. What's
Your
going
energy.
on here? What's going on
Yeah.
with energy? And these 5 components are just so vital to you having great energy or you having terrible energy. And
Can
they
you
all
repeat? Sorry.
alcohol, diet, sleep, movement, nature.
Mm.
And they all tend to lead into each other as well.
I would like to just quickly add to something that's a personal anecdote of mine, and I do share this with everyone, right? I don't know why I'm sharing again. Every morning, and I even struggle with this because it's kind of like annoying. Every morning, first thing I do is I get up and I go for a walk. I get sunlight in my eyes. I move, and the thing that incentivizes me is I buy a coffee. Now I spend a fortune on coffees, but I don't care because that's what like there is nothing on earth that will get in the way of me and coffee in the morning. So if it's a long walk in hot Bali weather, I will go. So that's what I do every morning. I go for a coffee, and I refuse to have coffee in the house because otherwise it will ruin my walk. So I'm like power walking to get my coffee. And that really, and I feel like I don't know what I'd do without it, to be honest. It's like it's almost sacred. That's my sacred like time. Yeah, really love that.
You bolt it on as a reward, see?
Yeah,
Accountability.
yeah, exactly. And I've started journaling when I get to the coffee shop as well, because I'm up really bloody early here, and it's like stupid. It's like 11 p.m. It's 11 p.m. when I'm up these at the moment. It's 6 p.m. 7:30 here. This is commitment, guys. Been up since 6. I've been working all day. I'll write down things and yeah, have a little journal time. So I just connect in with myself. Yeah, that is and I love that time of the day. It's my sacred time, and it's almost like the next day, if I haven't achieved everything or I haven't got everything done, it's a reset. I get to just brush it off and restart. It's like re-cleansing everything. And I do put a lot of my feelings of good feelings. I put a lot of that in that part of the day. It just makes me feel so good. From there, days downhill.
You set yourself up well. That's the key.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. But now I've got to go to the gym, so I don't know how to sort it all out because it's all confusing. But anyway, I'll figure it out.
Yeah. So sorry, that's where we start with the energy. Then
Energy.
there's a wheel of looking at the different areas of your life for you to score. So that's just getting the clarity on where you are at the moment. Then we go into that hot pen technique, which is your vision. Then it's got the section for you to mark out your 5 big 10-year goals, which will make that vision come true. And then it's got a section for knocking out 20 12-month goals, which are goals that are working towards your vision, but also just some nice stuff that you want to do, because it's not just got to be focus, focus, focus. We've got to have a life as well.
Yeah. Good.
And then it's starting to work out your quarterly goals. So basically that section, I've minimized it and just given it as a freebie as the goal setting guide, basically, which anyone can have. And that kind of just gives you the structure to get that vision together and kind of get the clarity. It doesn't give you the accountability to go and take the action to do it, but you got to start somewhere.
Yeah,
It's
amazing.
putting your flag in the ground and saying, right, this is what I'm aiming for. And we'll start breaking it down. This is how I'm going to start getting there. Then,
Okay, do you have a link for that?
yes, I'll put it in chat.
Yeah, put it in the chat for me and I'll stick it on the Facebook. I'll
Yeah.
stick it on the Facebook page. Have we got any questions? Anyone got any questions for Ben? Well, we've got 6 minutes left. And if we don't, if we've got loads of shy people in the house, I'll come up with something. We do have another. Oh, Helly's also said, yes, accountability feels to me like a force energy, whereas motivation is attraction energy. The more feminine, creative energy, more ease, more flow. Yes. Yeah, okay. So that was in response to the femininity thing. Accountability feels like a force. Motivation is attraction. Interesting. I'm not really sure. I'm not sure if I necessarily understand that. What do you think about that, Ben? You see that?
Yeah, I think people can be put off by accountability, and the word commit can be triggering, and it can be seen as a masculine thing. I see that. I know my wife is not into commitment, although we've been together a long time.
Yeah.
Committed to that.
Maybe that's why she's into it, Ben.
She hates
This what happened last time.
So yeah, I guess I could see that. Yeah. I mean, I don't know enough about.
What we did when we were talking about your messaging before, like previously,
Yeah.
we were talking about like you feel like you want to. It's the masculine energy, like commit. You got to like get your shit together, like really like pull yourself together, like you've got to take that action, and that is like it's controversial these days, but it is a masculine sort of approach, I suppose.
Yeah.
So
yeah. I mean, I'm quite a man's man. I know masculine energy. I'm not that in touch with my feminine side, but I love working with women, and I have worked with women, and I know some. I mean, my wife is seriously driven in terms of what she can do, juggling a property business and 3 kids. I'm like in awe of, and I know a lot of really powerful women that I don't know if it's masculine energy. It's just getting shit done and no fucking about. It's taking action. So yeah, I mean, I try not to be too masculine, but I just am being me. So yeah, I can't really answer on whether or not I see accountability as a masculine thing or a feminine thing. I think it's a necessity, not necessity. I think it's a very powerful tool to helping everybody get more done.
I I think that's a fair statement. Yeah, we've got a couple more comments about like male cycles, feminine cycles. Claudia says, I think commitments sometimes come from really understanding our own cycles. That's interesting. We've got cycles coming up at the moment. That's an interesting one. Yeah, I suppose you can't get into masculine and feminine without understanding the cycles, and women do have different things. Do you find coaching men and do you find it different coaching men versus coaching women?
Find women make probably less excuses.
Oh, okay. Interesting. I mean, to be fair, I don't make I own my is it not necessarily they do more, but they just don't have excuses. Is that right?
This is a tough one. I'd have to have a lot of people to kind of make an assumption of, and I've not coached that many.
Your measly experience, like
Yeah,
just
I need a bigger
of course,
of people to make
but your experience,
bold statements. Yeah. But yeah, I guess I can put, well, not that I can't. Yeah, I mean, listen, I'm no David Goggins. I'm not like, I'm a reasonable person. I've gone through all the experiences that we've all gone through with mental health, with children, with all of these things. I understand that life isn't as plain sailing as stop moaning and crack on with it. So I like to think that I've got enough emotion behind me to not just be that military taskmaster. So I don't know. I couldn't say that there's a significant difference.
But yeah, I quite liked it that you said that. I was like, yeah, okay, that's interesting though. I'm going to take that on, even if you're like, it's small data, but I don't care. Stu's got to go because he's got a client now, which we love. You don't need to apologize for that. We love you guys having clients. Mark says, habitual, Caroline Antonia, we are creatures of habits. Habits rock and keep us on track. Timetable, program, follow it daily, weekly, monthly, etc. Yeah, we've had quite lovely amount of engagement in the chat. Helly says, great conversations, many thanks to you, Caroline and Ben. Yeah, I think that's a wrap, Ben. Have you got any last comments? Actually, give me the link, mister.
I've put it in there. Oh no, actually, I've directed that to someone specifically there.
Oh, personal. Someone's got a
it's only because somebody direct messaged me and I need to respond to that actually. Let me just take a picture of that as well. Let me send the link up, because otherwise someone sent me an email.
Okay, I'm gonna share this on the Facebook page as well, guys. If you want to download this vision and 10-year goal guide, then yeah, make sure you download that. Have you got any last words, Ben?
Have I got last words? Download the guide. Create your vision. Create something to move forward to is vitally important. Having a vision for you to move forward to will really help you take the action. Yeah. Journal's coming on sale soon. Get the journal. Amazing. That'll give you clarity on a daily basis. And then if you want someone to hold you accountable and push you forward, then reach out. Otherwise, just keep doing your great things.
Oh, I love that, Ben. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having me. I really appreciate it.
Oh, you're more than welcome. You've been a great guest. Loved having you. Real pearls of wisdom there.